If you'd like to be a doctor, or an astronaut, or a mechanical engineer, this video will probably not help you. Some things are, unfortunately, just best learned in a formal setting. If, on the other hand, you'd like to learn to juggle, or cook fancy meals, or write books, or make a 3D scan of your friend Phil, or swap all your in-laws' faces using Photoshop so you can terrorize the family group chat, welcome, and let's begin. All of us, at some point, have looked at somebody doing something cool and thought, I wish I could do that. And then most of the time, we do nothing. Nothing at all. Or if we're feeling adventurous, and you can probably relate to this, we buy some materials, we watch some YouTube tutorials, and then maybe we try it once, and then we quit. It doesn't seem to stick. So if you're like me, and you're like most people, you probably have a blank canvas, an unplayed guitar, and a couple of empty journals just lying around as just monuments to the time you tried something and it didn't work. And that sucks, because we want to get good at these fun things. So why doesn't the skill stick, and how can we make it so that it does? How can we do that cool thing? How can we get good? And if you stick with me for the next couple minutes, I'll explain 3 steps you can take that will help you do just that. Steps 1 and 2 will be like, no duh, and step 3 will be the twist, but you do need all 3. And before we start, I'd like to acknowledge that the ideas in this video first came to me from this remarkable lecture by one of my creative heroes, graphic designer Chris Do. It's about an hour long, and he uses different terminology, but the ideas are the same. I saw this video about 5 years ago for the first time, and the ideas in it have been profoundly transformational for my own creative work, both as an artist and as a high school art teacher. So if you enjoy this video and you'd like an even deeper dive, I recommend you go to the source and you make sure to watch that full video after this. So here we go. Step 1 is nice and obvious. So obvious, sometimes people confuse it for the entire learning process and not just as one step. So step number 1, look it up. Google it, right? You type your question into the search bar and you get some answers. Now, your questions don't even have to be good. As a matter of fact, they probably won't be good. You don't know enough about the thing that you're trying to learn to ask good questions, right? That's the point. You actually don't know what to even ask. You don't know what you don't know. Read some articles, watch some videos, get a feel for the water. What I like to do here, practical tip, is save everything I watch on YouTube to a playlist so I can reference it later. And any articles I read, I link them in a Google Doc. For my perfectionists out there, do not worry about organizing this perfectly. Actually, don't worry about organizing it at all, because you don't know enough about the topic to organize it. So just put it all in one pile, keep watching, fire hose, drink. And the whole time, all you're looking for is, what is the first step these knowledgeable people are recommending I take? And once you've found that out, step 2 is, you guessed it, you're gonna take that step. So step 2, try it out. This is essential. If you never get to this step, and you live exclusively in the look it up phase, you're tricking yourself. You're learning information, sure, but not a skill. Try it out in a small way. Do the magic trick, make the grilled cheese sandwich, play the song on your guitar. And guess what? Odds are it won't be that good. It might be, right? You don't want to go into this expecting failure, but almost certainly your first story or your first short film or your first cast iron steak won't exactly match the vision you had in your head. Or there's a small possibility that actually it'll feel brilliant. To you only, which is part of the reason we need step 3. So here it is, the magic step, the step people forget. Step 3 is show it off. And by that I don't mean brag about it, but you need to show, explain, present something about what you did to someone else. This is the step people skip. They spend their time either in step 1 only or steps 1 and 2. But step 3 is awkward and the benefits aren't immediately clear, so people skip it. But I promise it is absolutely essential. Now, why is it important for you to show your work to somebody else? 2 reasons. Probably neither of them are what you think. First, when you show your story or your board game or your song to somebody else, the cracks become visible. Practicing in a mirror or reading your own work back to yourself can make you think you're farther along than you actually are. Now, no, the goal is not to get beat down emotionally by your family and the internet and have people tell you that you suck. And it's not even necessarily to get feedback. You don't even have to ask people what they think. The act of sharing something, just that act, will usually reveal a lot to you about the project and your skill. The second reason is that sharing something means you have to finish something. If you never do step 3, you might spend years, quote unquote, working on your skill and never finish anything. Never know how it would be received, never know how it might help or resonate with other people. You'll have the illusion of growth, but in reality, you're on a treadmill in your basement. And hear me out, this can be really small. You do not need to start posting your videos on YouTube. You don't need an audience or a newsletter. You just need to decide, it's done enough for now. I'm gonna slap a finished label on it and I'm gonna show it to somebody. And I'm not saying all art and all projects must be shared, right? There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes as well. But sharing your work is the most powerful way to get better and the best way to assess how much you really know and how much you just thought you knew. So hooray, you might be thinking, well, those are the 3 steps. All I had to do was what I'm already doing and add a talent show. I don't feel like I'll be any better after just showing my work to somebody. And you're right, and here's the secret that makes this all work. When you're on step 3, showing your stuff to other people, you realize a lot. You realize what works and what doesn't. You realize what you know and what you don't, which means you have questions, new questions, questions you could never have thought of without doing your 3 steps. And now you take those new questions and you plug them right back in to step 1, and you keep going. Now, how long, how many cycles, you might want to know? Well, you can stop whenever, or you can stop never. Skill has no ceiling. The cycle can go as long as you want to keep improving, but all 3 steps are necessary. Any one of these steps on their own, repeated forever, is an exercise in futility and will make you feel like crap. But all 3, in order, repeated cyclically, is an engine that gets stronger with every loop. You'll be learning, truly learning, and you'll be able to do things you think are cool. So go on, think about something that you want to do, go look it up, try it out, and then show it off. And if there was any one thing in this video that was most helpful to you, leave a comment in the description so I know what it was and so you don't forget it. I'll see you next time.